Good morning, lovely souls. Happy Friday.
Hey, beautiful
And
people.
I got my wonderful friend David here with me.
Hello, Tim.
Morning,
It's so lovely to be
David.
back with you. It feels like forever since we've done this.
It does feel like forever, and I've had quite a few inquiring messages and emails saying, like, when are we getting back together? So here we are. Here
Here
we
we
are. We've
are.
just, and of course, we've got the Mr. Crow has to chime in and say good morning. We've got the Lionsgate coming up, haven't we? Which, for all of us, kind of budding earth workers, light workers, healers, warriors, ascension fanatics, in whatever way, it's almost like it's the piece de la resistance.
It is.
It's the time of year that everything starts being implemented on a very physical level now. We were talking about this just before we went live, David, weren't we? About
Mm.
kind of what, for those of you that don't know what the Lion's Gate is, what makes this so different, so special. I mean, we have the equinoxes, we have the solstices, we have full moons, we have astrological alignments, we get melted by sun flares on a daily basis. So, what is it that's going to happen during this alignment that makes it all so different? I mean, what are your experiences so far with the Lion's Gate, David? You've had some quite spectacular ones, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, when I did the solstice workshop back in June, I kicked things off with a bit of a recap of like the events that have led to the incredible shift that we just went through at that solstice.
Mm.
Um, And, the Lionsgate has been critical in this ascension process. The events that have been happening the last few years are just staggering. And it's hard to talk about this stuff without it sounding like a science fiction movie because of the level of
Yeah.
things that happen on these incredible dates. But, the whole thing with the storm layer started on the Lionsgate. We had 3 years of intense clearing on this planet where we
Yeah.
were breaking down the third dimensional density with it. Then had the installation of the Earth Macabre that happened. We had an incredible heart activation for all of the souls of planet Earth. Like every year, there's just something that happens, and there's literally like billions of beings of the light that join us for this occasion
Mm.
to step forward in assistance for us. We've done these workshops on the solstices and on the Lionsgate, and we come through and we step out and we see the planet as a whole, and we start doing work on it. And the level of beings that step forward for these occasions to help us step forward with our ascension is staggering, absolutely staggering. And these are where the
It
massive shifts happen. It's truly an incredible thing. I look forward to the Lionsgate every single year. It's just amazing.
it really is. That encapsulates it basically. It's the time of year, or to really break it down, to simplify it, on a lot of the other dates, we are receiving energies, we are integrating, new things are being put in place for us to navigate. But the Lionsgate seems to be the one point of the year where all of that energy, through all of the other events that we've experienced, actually implements something physical that we can navigate. Like you said, we've had the 2019, the installation of the storm layer was one of the most eye-opening, and it was one of the most eye-opening incidents that I can recall. But it also indicated that we were about to go through or be launched into a huge period of change. And of
Mm.
course, there was a few kind of almost red flaggy or keywords that Merlin was using when he was explaining to me about the installation of the storm layer, saying that we're going to have a 3 year period of intense clearing, which immediately made me think, well, what's going to happen? And of course, as soon as 2020 hit, we knew what was going to happen. So that kind of theme, that very, very intensive change, has been on the cards pretty much every time the Galactic Core aligns with Sirius and the Earth, which is what happens at the Lion's Gate. The sun doesn't move into Leo, and we have like an extravagant month of Leo fun and games. It's a direct alignment which allows for physical changes to be implemented. And over the years, I mean, I've particularly, me myself, I've found the Lionsgate incredibly challenging because I have a lot of Leo alignments in my astrological chart. But now, particularly also having the blessing of being able to work with yourself and with other souls on the Lionsgate, David, it's managed to turn it from being what felt like a battering initially into productive, proactive, forward moving work. And of course, with this one, we don't know quite yet what's going to be happening, but we'll be in for a treat.
Yeah, and I think it's worth saying with that, it is a period. You know, the Lionsgate is one day, but the build up to it is quite intense, and it carries on for, you know, a good couple of weeks after it, really. But I always think of the June solstice and the Lionsgate as being very, very tightly linked. We have this kind of period
Yeah.
that starts end of May, beginning of June, where the energy starts to build and preparations are in place towards the June solstice, usually an intense period of clearing because we're letting go of everything we can before then. And then we have the amazing solstice. You know, this year we've just had our planet has achieved its own ascension and we've stepped into the sixth dimension. It's truly an incredible time. But it doesn't stop there. It's like it just continues to build. It's like the solstice starts something which is kind of completed at the Lionsgate. And, you know, this year, what we are seeing, I'm going to read you a message from Melchizedek in a minute about what's happening in this Lionsgate. You know, what we are seeing, this Lionsgate is happening directly because of what happened at the solstice. It could not have happened without the jump shift that we've just been through. And then hopefully we'll have a brief period of respite until the December solstice. And then it feels like we get to hibernate in for a little while until it builds back up next year. It's
Yeah, you'll
quite a
be lucky,
cycle,
mate.
really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the period it always happens for us. It always happens in the summer months. For say the southern hemisphere, it will be the colder, the more wintry times. But so for the Lionsgate, for me, you say it's one day, and you're right that gateway it's the 8th of the 8th, but I always feel the energy building up when the sun moves into Leo, and it always feels like it's being closed down and everything calms down a little bit when the sun moves out of Leo and moves into the blessed sign of Virgo. And it's almost, you can feel this energetic sigh of relief as the energy tap is turned off, and we're then given a little bit of time, a little bit of downtime to integrate and actually to witness what it is that we are, what we've been gifted with, what we've experienced, what we're moving through, what's being presented. And it's so, and this is something else that I just wanted to kind of skim over, is it doesn't feel to me like we have the downtime that we used to have, David. And I know you and I have discussed this before. Prior to 2022, there used to be peaks and troughs. You used to get periods like this where you move through the alignment, you receive the energy, and then you get the integration time. But what I'm noticing now is that we're having to integrate on our feet. We're having to integrate as we're moving. So your downtime is basically you're moving into the next bandwidth of energy, but it never drops. There's never that there's never the roller coaster that used to be. It's all just basically going in one direction, and that's kind of like an uphill looking graph if you were going to be
That's it.
mathematical about it.
Yeah, yeah. We used to go up and then across a little bit and then up a bit more and then across and a bit. But now we're soaring up at incredible speed. I
Yeah,
mean, the
yeah,
shifts that we're experiencing right now are it's crazy, really. It really is. It's like something out of another world. But this is
it
life on
really
Earth
is.
now, and it's preparation because we are on the cusp of go time, you know, and we're really starting to see changes. You know, some of the things that Melchizedek's been saying to me recently, he's starting to talk a reference an incline. You know, Tim and I have spoken about this many times on solstice workshops and probably Lionsgate as well, where it felt for a long time like we would kind of in this downward trajectory, like as a planet, things seemingly getting worse. And the reality is what that was the shadows. As the light comes in, it reveals the shadows. And as a society, it can feel like quite a dark place, when reality is that all of this stuff has been going on for a long time. We just didn't know about it. And the fact that it's coming out into the light is a really positive step. But, Melchizedek's now starting to talk about an incline again, and this is a 20-year journey, the Ascension process. And by the 2032, or, as we're all aware, we're a little bit ahead of that. We're not going to be in the new golden age. We're not going to be living in golden cities with incredible advanced technology, but we will be ready. We will be fully heart open and activated, and in a place to start forging that new world. And, we are, where are we now? 2024. So we're 12 years, 11 and a half years into this process. We've done a lot of that downward. We need to start coming up now to get us to that place. If we're, say, 3 years ahead, for instance, and we're 2029 is the end of the process, we've got 5 years to get ourselves back to that place.
It's not long.
It's not long. I've never said that out loud before, but that's kind of crazy to say. I'm not saying it is going to be 29, it might be 30, 31, I don't know. But we've still got, as a society, we've got a fair amount of work to do to get there. So we're going to start seeing some really rapid shifts to bring us to that place, which I think segues really nicely into what Melchizedek's talking about for this Lionsgate. So shall I read the message quickly, Tim?
Please do. I'm excited to hear what he's got to say.
Brilliant. You may have read this already on either mine or Tim's website, possibly, if you checked out the event that we're doing, but I wanted to read this out anyway. So this is what he has to say. Beloved souls of the light of the great Sirius alignment draws close. With it, a massive expansion is to take place, which will offer all of the children of Earth a glimpse into the truth that resides at the core of their being. They are love. This simple act shall trigger a remembrance within the sleeping masses that will open the floodgates into a return to divinity. This is no small task. To say nothing of this scale has ever happened before would be an understatement, but this is the way it is to be. We have been preparing for this moment for some time, and only the final expansion awaits. This is not to say that the children shall awaken the next day as fully actualized God-free beings, but it is to be the catalyst that reignites the flame that lights the way home. This alone is a truly momentous occasion. All of this is possible due to the tireless efforts of you beautiful souls who have dedicated yourselves to the path of service and held the light through the toughest circumstances so that love can prevail. This expansion is led by your sisters and brothers, the Lemurians, who as we speak prepare the light core for its coming growth, which is to be triggered by your fellow incarnates weeks prior. Once fully activated, the inner sun will spread its light, engulfing the planet's physical dimensions and embracing all of those who inhabit her. This expansion will bring light to all. Through its presence, truth springs eternal. This is the moment you have so long awaited. As a guardian of that truth, you shall be called to service, to step forward and assist all those in need to find their way home to their inner light. Praise be, my beloved, for purity awaits. Yours in ever-loving service, Melchizedek.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Melchizedek.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Melchizedek, and thank you, David, for bringing that through. It's powerful message.
It really is.
Powerful message. Yeah.
It really is, and I could really feel the energy reading that out there coming through with it. So, what he's talking about essentially, when he's talking about the light core, he's referring to the
Mm.
agarthan sun, which is basically in the center of hollow Earth, the ascended aspect of our planet. And if you join Tim and actually, that was another thing that happened on an awesome Lionsgate. If you joined Tim and I a couple of years ago for the Lionsgate 2022, I think it was, the
Yeah.
Lemurians returned to us, which was so
Yeah.
exciting. After essentially they went into kind of a hibernation after their period on Earth ended, and they stepped aside to make way for the Atlanteans, and they went into
Mm.
hibernation within the city of Telos in the core of Hollow Earth. And they reawoke a couple of years ago, and we did some work with them. And back then, we did an activation of the Agarthan sun, and we linked it to the Earth Macabre, if I recall.
We did.
And then I did some further work with them after that, and they re-released a load of kind of stored away information. They had a cache of keys and codes and things that they prepared away for this time now. But to be honest, after that, I never really heard from them again. I tried checking in a few times, and everything was
Mm.
quiet. I don't know about you, but
It was almost a rush of energy that re-platformed. I mean, the beautiful thing about the way that the Lemurians work is they describe themselves as ground workers. Okay, if you listen, so prior to the Atlantean continent becoming a real incarnate thing, the Lemurians who were working from like a higher perspective, a higher realm, were doing the groundwork. They were preparing everything. And the 2022 Lionsgate was the reactivation of the entire golden platform. The gates of Telos opened, Adama of Telos stepped forwards, and they were just saying, right, we're ready to assist with the building process now. So if you think about what we're going through on a physical level on this planet, energetically all around us, the golden structures are being built and put into place in order for us to move and step into that energy. So it was it was a very distinctive sign that we were going to be launched into the next phase. And I tell you what, since that particular opening of the gateways, I don't think they've needed to be too interactive because everything has been coming through left, right, and centre. Time has sped up. Our ascension process accelerated to the point where half of us are like, we don't know where we're going or what we're doing next. You're just having to be living in the moment. So it's I've the way that I see their energy is completely and fully integrated into everything that we're doing, but very much part of a team or cogs within a wheel that are kind of all meshing together, but moving very quickly. Like
yeah.
you say, there's an uphill trajectory. We're moving forwards. But so many people that I speak to are losing sense of time. I mean, 5 minutes ago, it seemed like January, and now we're talking about what we're going to be doing on the Lionsgate in August. It's moving so fast that we have to keep check with our own nervous systems in order to make sure that we're not burning out, that we're not doing too much too soon. And one of the really beautiful ways that I've seen the kind of Lemurians interacting with people via their kind of crystalline network is to bring it all back to self. Repair the self, and the outside picture then becomes clearer, pristine, and pure. So we're going through a huge period of self-healing at the moment, self-realization, bringing it all back to what truly matters and leaving everything else behind that is purely a distraction that we're not supposed to be working with, or things that weren't really serving us that we were persisting with. So they're there as they've always been, kind of like in, how they work in the background, integrating and bringing everything together, which is just how it should be at this moment in time.
Interesting you hearing you say that about the golden kind of cities and things, because the few times I have checked in, the one thing that I've been shown is these like golden holographic structures being built around the cities on our planet, and I was just told that they were laying the foundations for the golden age. So it's really interesting that
Absolutely.
you've had that same experience. But of
Yeah.
course, they have been also preparing for this Lionsgate. So have been preparing the Agarthan sun, which sits directly above a massive pyramid in the city of Telos. They are
Yeah.
preparing it for an expansion. And Melchizedek mentioned in the message that it's being activated by your brothers and sisters incarnate. He's referring to us when he said that. So on June 25th, Melchizedek's leading me on a workshop where we're going to the city to do an initial activation for it. That had to happen 2 weeks before the Lionsgate to prepare for the main workshop. So we're going to be going in there and working with the Lemurians to do the final preparations, get it set up and ready for the main event on the Lionsgate, where this actual expansion of this sun is going to happen. And what Melchizedek's been showing me is that literally the sun is energetically going to expand and engulf our planet. It's going to be bigger than our planet, which is quite remarkable.
But I like the sound of that.
Yeah. But the Agarthan sun is a portal, a direct portal to the light of Helios. That light from that great central sun, the purest of source light, flows through it. And because it's coming directly from within, it's coming in at a higher frequency. That, we already receive light from Helios, but it's got to come all the way from the center of our universe. This is like a direct portal where it's going to be bringing it through at a higher frequency. And as this expansion takes place, essentially, because it's going to engulf all of us as it comes out, it's going to spread its light to all of us, to every single soul on planet Earth, and touch the hearts of them. And what he's saying is, this will act as a trigger, a remembrance within the sleeping masses that will open the floodgates in a return to divinity. He speaks about it giving them a glimpse into that truth that resides at the core of their being. They are love. And this is all of our true nature. This is just a shell. This is a vehicle that encapsulates the purest light of God that we hold each within our heart. That is who we are at our very core. Our projection into the world for so many people is a reflection of our own fears and anxieties, which change our behaviors. And that's unfortunately why a huge part of the world acts in the way that they do. That's not who they are. And that's why everyone deserves our love. No matter what they're doing on this planet, they are love at their core. And, their behavior is a reflection of the experiences of their lives. And, they act out because of that. But we are all that love. And that's what this expansion is going to do. It's going to give everyone a glimpse of that truth, which sparks within them their return to divinity, as Melchizedek says. This is the beginning of the awakening process. And as he says, we're not going to wake up the next day and everyone's like a fully actualized God-free being, knowing exactly who they are and ready to get to work and everything. But it's the initial spark, it's the catalyst that will bring change. And within that, that will start everyone's own personal journeys on that return home that we've been doing for so long.
That feels pretty significant to me.
It's huge.
I think people's experiences of that are going to be very interesting. Very interesting. So,
We've seen a lot of heart
another
activations
funky
over
Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Sorry, my friend.
We've seen a lot of activations of the heart on special occasions for everyone on Earth, to bring them back into touch. And, I think it was a couple of years ago we had one where everyone was given a glimpse of what they would be like without fear. But this is like the next level, each time we're stepping it up and we're drilling down to that point of remembrance. And this is absolutely massive. This is completely, game changing, really. So exciting times lie ahead. We will see what flows from it.
We will indeed. We will indeed. So you have an event on the 25th, David, which is the prelude for this. And then you and I are coming together on the 8th of the 8th. We will be rocking and rolling at 7 o'clock UK time.
That's it.
And as with all of these Lionsgate events, we've booked it for an hour and a half, aren't we? But we might kind of flow over for 10 or 15 minutes if the work requires it. So if you're interested and you would like to join David and I for this, then all of the details will be underneath this video, and we are really looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is going to be really something special. We can't wait to share this with you guys. It's worth saying also that, along with this planetary activation for everyone, this light is going to touch us as well, and we are all going to receive a blessing. Sorry, I accidentally did a thumbs up thingy in my video software there.
Do I get one as well?
It seemed like a good time for a thumbs up, though. Hey!
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
A reason to celebrate. So, yeah, there's lots of light to go around for all of us. And, yeah, we would absolutely love to share this with you. If you feel like joining us, we'd love to see you there. All the details will be down below.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning, David. It's been an absolute pleasure to see you again and to work with you. It does feel like it's been a while, doesn't it?
It has been a while, hasn't it? No, it's an honour to be here as always. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see
Sending you all lots of love.
Sending lots of love. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.